in, come through, like, subscribe, and share. Support the channel. Support my yacht's temple of healing and unconditional love. I'm not gonna be up here long. I just wanted to. I'm just gonna get into it. I'm trying to give game. Try to get some game to the women that's like the lady Micca that don't know how to move in this patriarchal society, which we're going into the rise of the feminine, the divine feminine, which is meaning that when I say the rise of the divine feminine, I'm talking about that left side, not just women, but men tapping into their subconscious and tapping into the hidden. That's what I mean when I say feminine. I'm not talking about acting like a lady or wearing makeup and all this drag stuff, which is cool because I do it too. I'm about to get back into drag soon with my eyelashes and all of that, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with enhancing yourself, but the feminine I'm talking about is the divine feminine is tapping into that the side of your brain that is the intuition, the discernment, the deep and hidden things that's not seen, the spiritual. That's what I mean when I say the feminine. I'm not talking about a man acting like a woman or a woman acting in the kitchen. That has nothing to do with femininity. Well, creativity, it does, whatever you create, and that does have to do with tapping into your feminine energy, the creativity. But what I want to talk about is even though we're in the age of Aquarius, we haven't got deep, deep, deep into it, in my opinion, because we still have a lot of people that's, even though it's gone, the old system is crumbled already, but they're holding on. They're not going out without a fight, but they gotta sit down and they gotta go head on. But still, we have a lot of women and a lot of men with the patriarchal mindset. And which is okay. The patriarch's nothing wrong with a healthy patriarchy. It's nothing wrong with that as long as it's balanced, with the matriarchy. And we have a lot of women that are not balanced and healthy either. They did not need to be ruling a stick, a ruler, a box, a empty box. I mean, it's not just the wind, but the men. We have women and men that are not righteous rulers that are abusing power. So I'm gonna give some game, like, subscribe, and share, because although we are in the rise of the divine feminine, and as I said, when I say the rise of the divine feminine, I'm not talking about where women are taking over and ruling over men. When I say we in the rise of the divine feminine and the Aquarius age, I'm talking about tapping into that creativity, to that left side. The men and the women tapping into their feminine side. And when I say feminine, that doesn't mean you know, roles as far as women in the kitchen cooking or wearing makeup or wearing high heel shoes. When I talk about tapping into the divine feminine and the rise of the feminine, I'm talking about that creative side, that left side, that creativeness in you, what's inside of you. That's creative, that spark that you came here, your purpose, what's gonna benefit you the most, what's inside, not what's when you go into the employer and working for them, using your energy to build a company, but you tapping into your planet, into your solar system, into your creativity. And that's not easier said than done. It's easier said than done. That takes work, that takes shadow work. But I'm up here giving game to these women, and maybe some men can benefit from this too. Okay, number one, when you see a man that is actually married, uh number one, we you don't they say in this society you don't supposed to mess with them. You supposed to leave married people alone. We not supposed to cheat, right? That's what they tell us. They tell us in this society that in the Bible it says when you look at a woman or a man, it's considered adultery, right? So we know that's what a lot of the Christians believe, that once you get married, it's it. That's it for life. I'm not saying I believe that, but that's how I was raised. I was raised like that. And I went and I lived that for a long time. I lived that. I tried to. So I don't believe this stuff. I'm just saying that's what this society wants us to believe. And this is what we have been indoctrinated into believing, that once you get married, you have the kids, you get a job, and everybody, the woman is the one that's supposed to stay home and take care of the family. I'm not saying I believe this. I'm just saying that's how they have indoctrinated us to believe. I'm not a Christian conservative. Okay, I'm not. I used to be, but I'm not a Christian conservative. But that's what most people in America and it's a lot of people in the world believe, that once you get married, then you're not supposed to be committing adultery and all this stuff. That's what they believe, and I believe it too. Now I believe it's a way to handle yourself. Now I don't believe in this system, but I don't believe in a lot of bullshit either. But okay, since this society mostly believes this stuff, a lot of the elites don't follow it. They don't. The elite people do not follow what they telling us to follow. They tell us as we are the goyim, we're considered the cattle. We're supposed to live these lives of going to work every day, working 9 to 5, or working 3 to 11, or working 11 in the night at night, 10, whatever shifts they got. But they tell us that it's the dream of working 9 to 5, building your credit up to a what 700, 800 credit score, buying a home, and all this and that. Hey everybody, how y'all doing? But I'm saying that's how they got us living. Like, and I went along with this shit. Like, I was really indoctrinated. I went along with it for a long time. I really believed in it. I did. I tried it out. They say go to college, go to fucking school, get a degree. I mean, I was an education. If you know how much I went to school, I mean, I think I went to school so much until I had to actually stop putting this stuff on my resume because I was overqualified. I mean, it's I did not know how intimidating it is for, like, one job I applied for years ago. It was years ago, which I applied for this job, and this senior manager, he told me to my face, and I couldn't believe he told me the truth. Everybody around me that I did the resumes for got hired. Everybody around me got hired, but let me tell you, they were doing like blue collar work. I was applying for a upper management position with a bunch of women, and it wasn't even the men, and it wasn't even a color thing. Like, I could say, I could lie to y'all and be like, oh, it was a color thing. No, these were people that looked like me that would not didn't want to hire me, because the guy told me, it was a guy that told me this. He was like, I looked at your resume, and you're really more qualified than the other people that's actually interviewing you. So I'm pretty sure they're not gonna hire you for this position. And I was like, why? He said, because they're afraid that if they hire you with your hard skills and the experience that you have. Greetings, everyone. Thank you for joining the live. But I'm gonna get back into the game. I'm gonna give y'all game. I'm gonna give y'all game on what in my title. But he was telling me that if they would hire me, I could take the jobs of the other women, and they weren't gonna risk that. And I said to myself, I'm like, well, shit, I understand that. I guess I would be that way too. And that's what taught me, like, you have to be careful how you put your experience down. You have to be careful at the date that this is some game too. You need to be careful at the dates you put, because they discriminate as far as looking at your education, looking at your experience. It's intimidating. It's not that you might not be qualified. You could be overqualified, and they discriminating with age. They look at your age and all of this too. So you have to be careful. It's not required for you to put your dates and times on these resumes and stuff. That's not mandatory. And if they ask you, that's not legal for them to. It's a way to answer without actually telling them, like, you might be too young, or you might feel like they might think you too old. Like, it's either way it could go. So it's a way to answer, and it's a way to do your resumes and your descriptions without actually, if you're looking for a job, like if you're trying to get a job, without actually telling them, like, the dates and the times. You don't have to mandatorily put that on your resume. But anyway, we have been indoctrinated into this society of thinking like, hi everybody, hello Jamie. See, have been indoctrinated into this society of thinking like, well, if I do everything right, then I'm gonna be okay. Well, they don't do none of this. Those people put on a front for earth. They have open relationships and all this, but when they come out before the public, they doing all kind of stuff. Like, they probably don't even. They probably don't even like the person that they're married most of the time is for business and empire building, and the politicians have been marrying the people in the same bloodline, and those different bloodlines have to marry certain people. They just can't marry anybody because they're not able to. Like wealth marrying wealth and money marrying money, and they want to keep the bloodlines a certain way. So if they do marry you, it might not be for nothing good. Like if you get one of those elite people to marry you, I think you might be on some stuff like that movie Housemaids. I don't trust that. Cause why? They don't marry outside. Like even in the you see even in the music industry and stuff like that, they don't date. They have a circle of people that they date. Everybody sleep with the same people and just rotate. They don't go outside of that. They don't go outside of their little circle unless I guess they looking for a bait. I be thinking like they looking for sacrifices or something. That's what I think. But coming back to the lady Mika and the Anton person, the I'm just using that as an example of you should not be up here saying you're a conservative Christian in this society and you're on the internet content snitching on yourself. I don't understand that. Like, why would you snitch on yourself? Like, why would you be doing? Like, I'm not gonna. If I'm telling people, even the elite do this, they gonna die not telling you exactly what happened with the Epstein files. They're not gonna come out and admit like I did this. Oh, I did it. I don't think they'll ever admit any of that. These people pretend before us that it's not right. It's not right that they do that, but they are doing diabolical stuff like way worse than anything that you could ever imagine. But you see how they carry themselves before the public? So I don't understand like why would you think that it's okay for you to be on the content flirting with a woman and telling her that you're going to get her hair done and bragging about you buying her watches and bracelets and stuff? I mean, I wouldn't even feel comfortable. Okay, I was in a situation, let me tell you story time. So I was in a situation when I was married, and I was married for a while. So I could say I was successfully married. I was married for a long time, very long time. But I got married as a teenager. So I was in a situation a couple of times while I was married, and I was approached by like famous people that's way popular than any like people that's like A-lister celebrities, music people, and I wasn't in the big city either. I was in a city where a lot of the NBA ball players were coming through, and I was in one city where they were like people coming through that was like A-list celebrities and shoot, oh, and people that was like popular music people or whatever. But I never did anything with them, and mainly because I'm not that I'm so good and perfect, but I was married, but that wasn't even the big thing. I didn't want to do it, and I didn't want to mess up my reputation. Like I was like, damn, yeah, I could get this money, and they famous, they got more money than my husband. But at the end of the day, you got to think like these people are like they're probably already with somebody, so you're like a casualty to war. You're disposable. They're not going to protect you. They're just like having fun. It's like Hunger Games. Like you're like cattle to these people. Like you're just a commodity. They don't look at you as having feelings. When people get to a certain level, they look at people as like toys in a way. Like they really do. Like the reason why I say that is because when I look at the videos of how certain times he talked to the lady Mika Anton, he would put her in check like he was a pimp, like, oh, you're out of pocket. And why would you do that on your live screen? Why would you do that on your channel? Because this is evidence. Let's say these women are married. She's allegedly married. He's married. What if his wife change up and decide like, oh, because you can't be too comfortable with people, because the wives and the husbands can use this content as evidence against them. That's what I would do. I'm telling you, that's what I would do if I was the one of the spouses. Like if I was Mika husband, or if I was Anton wife, could change up. They can use this content as evidence in court. I'm telling you. it can be used against them. So that is so stupid. That's why, ladies, if you shouldn't be messing with this society. They tell you shouldn't mess with a married person, but we know married people cheat all the time. We know this. Married people been cheating before my grandmother was born, and married people was messing with each other after my grandmother was born. And my grandmother was born in freaking 1917. So that my grandmother tell me stories about. I got a lot of stories during story time that I could tell you about what married people was doing back in them days. So you can imagine what married people are doing now. But the thing is, why expose yourself? And ladies, you have to be careful because all money and men, all money is not good money. All gifts are not good gifts. Just like that bracelet that the lady Micca is going around wearing all the time, that's freaking evidence. That's evidence. And what if she's married off of a green card? Like, I don't think she's originally from the US. I think she's from she's like a black Colombian. That's evidence. Like, if you're trying to get like a green card or something like that, or if you're trying to, whatever. Like, that man is not helping her. He exposed her and the other lady. It was another lady named Molly or something. These women are allegedly married. He is up there on his content, making them look like he's pimping them, making these women look like they are really three of whores or whatever. And and that he's paying for their time and he's giving them gifts and money. Okay, I understand he want to play the big pimp sugar daddy, but why do that if you're supposed to be a Christian conservative married man? Why do that on your show? And why do the women think that's cute? Why are they up there giggling and laughing like that's cool? They don't value themselves. They do not value themselves because in this society, whatever happens on the internet is permanent. You can't really delete everything on the internet. So from now on, those women are going to be looked at. It don't matter what the wife says. Okay, we think something is wrong with the wife. To even if I thought it was okay for my husband. Okay, let's say if I had an open marriage and I allow my husband to go out and be with other women and all that, I'm not gonna get up there on the internet and tell y'all that it's all right for him to do that. Oh hell no. I would never admit that to a person. Why would I admit that unless you in my circle and we all doing that? Because it's people that swing. Like, I ain't never been into that shit. I ain't never been, but I do know of couples that do swing and you know what I'm saying, the secret societies or whatever, the cockles or whatever. Like, that's been happening for since forever. The secret societies of the relationships and these different dynamics in these marriages and stuff. I would never get up here and tell y'all that it's okay for my man to be with other women. Not if I'm supposed to be a Christian conservative. Now, if we doing corn, if me and my husband do corn like Adam 22 and his wife, yeah. If we doing it, we if we wilding out like that, and then we got an agreement, and she can sleep with the daggone BBCs, and I can go and do my BB, what is it, BBLs or big beautiful women or whatever, the big booties. If we doing it like that, yeah. But if I'm putting on a persona of a conservative Christian, it's no way I would get up here and say, okay, it's okay, he can do what he want. And it's no way as a man he should get up here and say, I can tell my wife that I'm gonna bust down a woman. We are best friends and we're cool where I can where we go to the strip club and my wife pick out all the pretty women. That's not in alignment with a Christian conservative. And I'm not saying that you can't rock like that, but that's the persona you gotta present when you first come up on the internet of that y'all rocking like that. That doesn't add up and that doesn't look good. Now he could say, well, I don't care what nobody thinks, but that's gonna mess up his brand. That's gonna matter of fact, that lady Micca is pretty much ruined now. That's all she gonna be looking. She wasn't like, I saw her music video. Like, she's okay. Like, everybody's like, oh, she sucks singing and rapping. She rap better than some the one we got out here now falling down. She sound better than me than her. And they got that machine got her up there boosted up like she doing something big. I mean, she sound better to me than some of the ones that they putting up now. I ain't saying that I would like go to a concert, but she decent as far as the music and the rapping and the singing. The lady Mika, And as far as the look, she's decent, you know. She probably look different without makeup, but she's attractive. I'm not even gonna lie. The wife is attractive. People are color struck though. These men, see, he know what other men like. That's what it is. He knows that most of these men are color struck and they like lighter. Most of the men in the melanated, the black community, a lot of the men are color struck. They like a light skinned woman with a big butt and funny eyes. And I think she's wearing contacts, but that's neither here nor there. Look. I ain't hating because I used to wear them myself. Okay. So I'm not hating on nobody. I'm just saying, like, he knows that's what he probably like, and that's what he would have got had he had money. But his wife is beautiful, but he's probably one of those black men that's color struck too. And he think that she's more attractive, the lighter skin. But honestly, I really think that man has always appeared to me to be on the DL. And I could be wrong. I'm not even trying to sit here and be on no negative vibe or bashing nobody. He could be DL. It's a possibility. And the reason why I say that is because I used to watch his show and I saw how he would talk about women. I see how he talk about his daughter. How that if his daughter does not do exactly what he wants her to do, he's gonna disown her. And how he say women are for making babies and women are, a resource and they supposed to listen and not speak and do what they told to do. And if they can't submit and all this stuff, like this man really and it's men that think like that, but they're not. They just have the mindset of a homosexual or a DL man, but there may not be. But I believe he is. I could be wrong. It seems like there's a hate for women. He just like, and I know gay guys like that. I have that they not mean or anything like that. I'm talking about the old gays. These new gays can be nasty, honey. Not the gay, but I'm talking about them. Yeah, these new gay people. They mean. They real nasty and mean. Back in the day, they used to be real nice. I mean, that's who that's who taught me how to do my high school, my childhood classmate is a drag queen. Big, well, he probably retired. He probably not doing it now as much as he used to do. But he was a big time drag queen, something like RuPaul. He was doing shows like big time in the area. So, I learned how to do a lot of the a lot of the contouring, and that's where that come from. I'm gonna give them that credit. It come from them. A lot of that contouring and the big wigs and all. Where you think that come from? That come from the drag or whatever. That's why I'd be like, yeah. Sometimes I'm gonna get in drag because that come from them. So they do all that. The big wigs, the makeup, the contouring, and all that. The lightning and all that. The toning and yeah, they do all that stuff. So. But I really think he is on the down low. I could be wrong, but he don't like women like that. He don't, and most of them don't. And a lot of times it be what they went through with their own mothers. And I'm not even saying they wrong for feeling that way. I just feel like they're not healed and they have wounds and stuff, childhood wounds. But a lot of the men really don't. And they get these women and they like, okay, if I got this woman on my arm and this bad bitch, then I'm attracting attention. That's what society likes, these men that I'm dealing with. They like, and that's what I would got had I had the money to get it, would be a light skinned woman with big booty and all this and that. And that's sad because his brand in this the way the patriarchy thinks, it's gonna do more damage to her than it does to him. It is. It's gonna do all of that thinking that she could get with a man that had a lot of followers and be his little side piece and act like it's cool for them to be flirting on the internet on his podcast and stuff. All this is gonna backfire badly because you got the other lady. You got another lady that said she turned him down. She said that she would have took her man out there with her. Now this lady ain't even married. She just in a relationship. She's telling you how to. She's telling Micca how she should have moved. You shouldn't have been so gullible to get what you had to get from this man to follow him around looking like a fool. And now you done got exposed via Corey Holcomb. And it ain't Corey Holcomb's fault. It's your fault because you should have known how to move. You should have known that I might not have a lot of followers and I might be trying to get on. But I cannot be seen out here in public with this man like this. Even if the wife is okay with it, you gotta not be slow and know how to move. You gotta use wisdom. You gotta know, you gotta be able to read a room and you gotta have like sociology and psychology skills. to be able to be like, nah, I ain't gonna go out to no game because what if what if the wife changed up or she try to use this as evidence or whatever? Because think about it. If I'm gonna get pissed, if I'm married to you and I say it's okay for you to do all of this, but let's say things start getting out of hand because even though people make agreements, people get out of pocket. The wife or the husband can use this stuff as evidence later on for a divorce. And if they ain't got no prenup, now they say it's cheaper to keep them. Yeah, but what if the wife just want to leave and go on and part the wealth? She can use that as evidence. The husband can use that as the Micca husband can use all this stuff as evidence. All I'm saying is, ladies and gentlemen, you need to be careful how you moving out here because all this stuff that's going on the internet and all this technology now, it's never going to be wiped clean. This is a permanent stain on this woman's brand and whatever she was trying to do. She better off having 5,000 followers or 300 or the amount that I got than to be stained like this because now she's really going to be looked at in our society. It's always the woman's fault. Look at what's happening in Mexico. Now they blaming the woman, which it could have been the woman's fault that she called and turned them in because a lot of times they do use women as COINTELPRO to trap these men. But they saying that his secret lover is the one that got him caught up, El Micho, the cartel leader. But people just have to be careful how they move. And just like him, this is definitely not going. They doing all kind of lives on this man. I was like, let me talk about because it's interesting the breakdown of how predatorial he is with these women and how he telling these women he's a married, supposed to be a married Christian conservative, but he's telling these women that if he working with them and they on his podcast and they coochie got to be on the table, that meaning he got to have access to them and he's a married man. And then what make it worse is the wife admitted that it's okay. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. You was not supposed to get up here and admit. I'm telling the wife reader this. You was not supposed to get up here on this internet, on Beyonce internet, and admit that you was okay with your husband doing this stuff that he's doing. Because let me tell you, that makes you look bad as a wife. That makes it look like you down with it, like y'all doing threesomes and stuff. I'm not even gonna lie. And that's okay if that's how y'all get down in the bedroom. But we should know that. We shouldn't know your bedroom secrets. I mean, unless y'all is up here promoting corn and unless y'all promoting OnlyFans, and that's y'all brand, y'all freaky deaky. Now, if that's your brand that you freaky deaking it like that, and y'all getting down on corn like that, and y'all smashing them women together, and y'all choosing the hoes and the bitches, and if that's your brand on YouTube, and you ain't associated with nothing conservative or Christianity or this one time, all this bullshit about, yeah, I never cheated on my wife, and I just been married one time and my wife was all that shit done went to hell because we already know that your wife, when you met your wife, you asked your wife, do she suck D? That show right there, you ain't nothing but a piece of shit, Anton Daniels. Because what decent man or even a young boy, I wish my sons would go. I wish my child I wish I would find out that they asked a girl something like that. And if she didn't cuss them out, I wouldn't have no respect for her. That's something you ask the prostitute from the beginning, not no girl that you trying to date, not no young lady that you want to date. You don't ask no young lady that you trying to date. I wish a nigga would ask me something like that, and I'm trying to, and he trying. When I was that age, I would a teenager ask me some shit. I'd be like, me as a teenager, I was a tomboy and younger as a kid. I grew up with I fought boy. That's for me to slap you right there for you that I slapped them for listening when I was a kid, a tomboy. Then I started liking them a little more and I stopped fighting them. But you ask me something like that as a teenager, you think and then I wouldn't give a damn how many times I seen you. I could have seen you a million. It'd have been a bad taste in my mouth. She married a man and asked her that. This is what she told Six the Goddess. Now that tell you something about her right then and there. Uh-uh. Now I done had some low self-esteem, but baby, it won't never that low. And it ain't never been that low, and I ain't never loved money enough to actually get up here on Beyonce internet and tell a motherfucker that it's okay for my husband to go out here and be with women and travel with them and all this and that, and I let him do what he want. No, even if I was in agreement with that, y'all not gonna know it, and I'm not gonna be up here. I wouldn't care if I got. Look, I don't even have 200 followers. And you know, I done had some opportunities. Yes, I've had some opportunities to travel the world. I've had some opportunities to be with this man and that man, and they build up my content and did and all this and that. Even before I got up here, because I was on doing, I was into my building my own self, music wise, writing, creator, author, all that, and still doing it. But I be damned if I'm gonna sit up here and intertwine myself with somebody and expose myself to make myself look, because I be looking at, see, you gotta sit back and think, like, you gotta observe a person. You gotta observe them before you link up with them and put your name out there with them. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just giving you tips. I'm not going to link up with no big time YouTuber because I want to get my numbers going. Especially if it's a woman or a man that I know that's gonna, that's gonna be like him, Anton, where they up there telling everybody everything we do. Everybody gotta know what we doing when we in the room together and all. Now we gotta look. No, I'm gonna do if I'm gonna do some little sneaky link shit. It might get exposed, but I'd be damn if it's gonna get exposed by me or the motherfucker that I'm dealing with, because I'm gonna be like looking and checking to see if they keep that shit on the low. If I'm gonna do some shit like that now. We gonna keep that shit looking business in public, right? We gonna keep that shit professional. You do not want to be linking up with somebody that mix business with pleasure, especially to show the public. That's one sign right there. If they gotta be bragging all the time and showy this and prove that they big dick Willie and all this and that, that's not no man. Even if you ain't got a dime in your pocket, that's not nobody you want to deal with, because when they get mad, they're gonna throw you under the bus and they're gonna tell all your business, because they telling everything before anything go bad. They trying to make themselves look good because they're too much in ego. Do not deal with no egotistical. I ain't even gonna say narcissist, cause I'm tired of using that word. I'm tired of the word narcissist this and narcissist that and narcissist. Do not see how people move, observe them. Before you go and say yes in your inbox, if you up here on Instagram, on YouTube, on whatever, Facebook, whatever, you have nobody. Be careful who you link up with, because even though you might not feel like you hot right now, you could use that little few dollars that they giving you and get your hair done. Your nail. I ain't never been one that want. I always did my own hair and nails and all that stuff. I was married and I was doing my own, and I had he would give me money, but I did my own stuff. I'm not gonna get up here on Beyonce's internet and on a nigga podcast and tell him after he done told me he gonna bring me out after he gonna take me shopping. She got up here on Beyonce's internet and said, he said, "Oh, I'm choosing Mila." I'm looking at this shit break. I can't believe this. This is diabolical. She told that man she need to get her hair done. You got a whole husband and he got a whole wife, and y'all up here exposing yourselves on Beyonce internet on this idiot channel talking about you getting your hair. He gonna get you need your hair done, and he telling you that he gonna fly you out and take you shopping. Okay, that's one. That's one ex. And then y'all in the hotel room at the Corey Holcomb show or something. Y'all in the hotel room together at 3 a.m. in the morning, and that's more evidence. Then you up there, he gonna say that he bought you that bracelet in so many words. Talking about the bracelet. You wearing this same bracelet on Tasha K. You don't wore this bracelet on that show with your husband friend, and he trying to be like, "What the fuck is you doing, dumb?" He really trying to tell you like, "Bitch, that's my homeboy, and your ass is stupid." You know damn well that my homeboy didn't meet that man. That is her husband friend. I don't know if this is an arranged marriage for a green card. It's something ain't in the milk ain't clean, but still, if you said you married and I'm married, and even if my spouse is, even if the husband was in agreement with being her pimp or he let her go out, see, this how men are. If a man is like that and he on that pimp stuff, he's like, yeah, bitch, you can go out here and you can go and be with this nigga. But if it come back to me or anybody say anything to me, it's a problem. Cause you know that's how women talk when they get mad with a man. They think they cheating. They be like, yeah, nigga, I know you cheating. But let me get anything or catch anything or let a bitch come in my face and it's a wrap. See, it might be not okay, but it might be a little copacetic as long as ain't nobody dragging you, searching you up, coming in your face, laughing at you. Now it's a problem because whatever her and Anton was doing, it done came to her husband's front door. And I'm gonna tell you, even though that wife is stupid as hell, something wrong with that Anton wife. Cause I used to have respect for her. Cause when he first started coming up there and I started seeing him and he started getting in the algorithm, he would bring his wife Rita on and she would be serving him and making his coffee and cooking. He always talking about, oh, my wife ain't gotta work. My wife don't work. My wife been taken care of for 15. Listen, if that bitch serving your ass, that's a hard job. Cause you seem very difficult. I mean, a wife is working if they serving their husband. That's a fucking full time job. If you gotta take care of the kids, clean the house, cook, make sure your husband is all right, and he one of them husbands like that and a pure asshole, I can tell. And she working with the companies that he even went and retracted. He even what you call it? He contradicted himself because he said she worked for him. So how don't she work? Is she working for you? She working for you and managing some of your companies, which is hers too. If y'all ain't got no prenup, bitch. So she is working. She ain't just sitting at home, going to the spa, eating what she want to eat, relaxing, getting in the hot tub, looking at the gardener outside with his greasy chest and six pack, tending to the fucking garden and shit. She working. That bitch working. She ain't just sitting on her ass, and you working too. Cause you gotta constantly keep pushing out content up here to get paid. If you don't, if your content don't content, buddy, your shit gonna be your bills gonna be behind. I'm just saying. If you don't come up here and make these motherfuckers look at your content and your content don't go viral and all this shit, so you got to put on a show. You got to do your Charleston White, your 1-2. But in the meantime, I'm telling these women and these men that might be naive, that might be a little slow, that might don't know the game. Be careful hooking up with these people that got money and want to pay you because they look at you as a toy. They look at you as a casualty of war. At the end of the day, he not gonna choose that lady because he said it. He told her, "I can replace you with another bitch that just want Reeboks." They do not look at you as on the level with them. They could you could be thinking that they be. What's the? It's a movie that I seen. It's called a something reindeer. Where this man, it was so sad how he was trying to become a producer or something. He was a young guy. He had a girlfriend and all that, but he had hooked up with this one producer where he would go to this man's house and this man would drug him. He had a drug habit. He did have a drug habit. This man would drug him so bad, and he would be doing all these rituals and this sadistic sex shit to him all night long. And that man would wake up and he would be so sore and stuff, and he would go back home and pretend like nothing ain't happened and stuff like that. It was crazy. Like you should see the shit this man was doing to this boy while he was passed out. These people look at you as an energy source. They look at you, and he shouldn't be doing that. His ass ain't got no money. Like he ain't rich like that. He ain't no elite. He thinking that he one of them. He's not one of them. They would never accept him. They look at this shit and laugh because they would never. You would never catch one of the elite up here doing no dumb shit like this on their channels and shit. They do dumb shit. They do a lot of diabolical, nefarious, wicked shit. But you would never have no evidence like this where they in the public making it easy up here on the internet, telling on themselves like this. Now you know this the fire horse here. You know we done entered into that 2020 vision exposure. Cause either these motherfuckers stupid or dumb or slow, or they just ain't used to the damn attention. Cause what in the fuck? I wouldn't. Mm. Honey, don't nobody really know me, and I like it that way. Damn if you gonna get me that easy. Damn if you gonna get me that easy if I'm doing some shit. Damn if you gonna get. I'm just saying. And these women and men, they can easily be. I mean, good God, That's why they look at people as cattle, as Goyim, and that's why they look at our people as they got a price. They really. I'm about to start quoting Dr. Man, and he said something is wrong with the black man mind. And he said the black woman is stupid. I'm not talking about everybody, but we got a lot of naive, ignorant people. It's time to wake. And the woman coming in making allow these men to come in and take over their houses, and then to talk about the wise virgins and the foolish virgins and all that. Which I know I've researched the word virgin deeply. It don't mean what we think. It actually mean a young child. That's what the word virgin mean in one context. In another context, it means something totally different. It's not the meaning that the patriarchy gave us, but at the same time, we are in this uh fire horse year. We are going into we are in the age of Aquarius. Look like we just got into it. We're going into the rise of the feminine. That's the creative energy. But we still have a lot of people with patriarchal mindsets. Don't be out here taking all money, because all money not good money. And these people don't care nothing about you. They don't think that you valuable anyway. So you gotta value yourself, whether you ain't got no money today, whether you ain't got nothing. You gotta think, like, in the future, it's no telling. Your life could change overnight. Your life could change overnight, and you have made the wrong decisions and linked up with the wrong people because you didn't value yourself. You looked at yourself as monetary gain. You was into the materialism. You was in survival mode. You was so much in survival mode until you made the wrong decision at the wrong time, and your situation could have changed overnight without you compromising yourself. I'm not saying that you can't. If you have made mistakes in the past and da 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 da, okay, let's start from now. Some of the people that you are connected with, you need to let them go and break those connections. I know it's gonna be uncomfortable for you because you like, oh, I'm getting money from this. They paying for this and this and that. But that's gonna hurt you more in the long run than this little temporary and instant gain of gratification of what you getting. Because what happens in the near future with you and this individual that the spirit is telling you to disconnect from, it's gonna be a long lasting stain on your reputation and on what you try. You know what you're trying to do. You like, okay, I have an idea, and this person, I can't let them go right now because they're paying for this and they providing this, and they giving me this and this, and then they telling you, they ain't right because they're like, what would you be without me? Well, like he told that girl, what would you do? Well, I could just go replace you. That's what they tell you, but they really need your energy. If you would disconnect from that and listen to the spirit, you will find out that you will be all right. You don't need that person, that you don't need to be connected to that person, because that person is trying to take you down with them. You need to be on the other side of the game. You need to be on the other side of the fence. You need to start aligning with your inner self and start healing, and you will find ways to escape from this mindset of thinking that you need to be entangled with these people. You do not need to ruin yourself for survival mode mindset, for materialism, for a temporary gain of survival. You do not need to keep mingling. I'm sure it was a time when Micca had set signs and signals that she should have left Anton Daniels alone and told him, listen, I'm done. I'm done with this. I quit. I'm done. I'm just gonna, count my losses and walk away while I'm ahead. But no, she kept going and going and going. And he led her right into the trap. He led her right. That's what it say in Proverbs too. It say about the women is a deep pit. These men can be a pit too. It ain't always the woman is getting the man caught up like like that cartel leader. They claim it was the secret lover. Sometimes these men is leading these women into a trap, into death, into hell. You got to disconnect from these people. You might gotta It might not even be necessarily a lover. You gotta disconnect sometimes from people, family members, from loved ones or whatever. So yeah, it might be a spouse that you need to disconnect from. You need to be aware and have discernment and know how to move in this spiritual world. Now we're going into the Aquarius age. You got a lot of people with patriarchal mindsets, but some stuff is a trap. It say all gifts are not good gifts. You do not need those to be attached to certain things. You need to let it go. You need to be like, look, that money was good. Them gifts was good. I could use that or whatever. I'm gonna fight this. I'm gonna fight this addiction and start working on myself. And I don't need the things that I thought I need, so I could disconnect myself from this person. If I gotta go through this and deal with this kind of energy to get this and that, I don't need it. I'm gonna learn to be without it until I can provide it for myself. because I'm telling you, you do not want to be connected to the wrong people because you might not value yourself, but you never know what's in the present and in the future for you. That if you would have detached yourself from those connections, you were gonna get blissed anyway. You were gonna be okay. You were gonna be that woman. You was gonna be that dude. You was gonna be that chick that you've been trying to be. You done got tired and said, "Man, this I've been trying to be somebody and get on for a while, and it's taking too long." And you done gave up. And at the time that you done gave up, and you done sat there and decided that you were gonna sit there and deal with this entity, that was right the time when things were working out because there's a season to everything. It take time. It don't happen overnight. Sometimes we go through years and years and years of trying and trying, planting them seeds and planting them and watering, and there ain't nothing coming up. It don't seem like nothing is coming up though. But spiritually it is. You collecting your harvest in the spiritual realm. It don't seem like nothing you do is working, but I'm telling you, late in the midnight hour, when you really about to give up, when you done said, I'm gonna throw in the towel, and you done decided to connect, the angel, the devil done send an angel of light. And I ain't even gonna blame it on the devil. A lot of time it's us not believing in ourselves, not putting out the right. We'll create something, and put it out, but really and truly, we don't think that nobody value it. We don't think we valuable enough for somebody to pay us what we worth, because we deep down inside we have childhood traumas and stuff like that. So we don't have value. We don't see the value in ourselves that those energy vampires see in us. See, we can sit here and say, well, um, she's just Micca, just a pretty face. She got something in her for that. I mean, for that man to be, he need that energy or something. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just what you think. Well, she do look good, but he getting the energy source. And you never know. The wife could be knowing that these people. You never know what these people into. That's why you got to be careful who you link up with. I mean, it's couples out here that will prey on people and say, okay, you can come in our circle and we gonna swing and this and that, and you can be with my husband. Then when the shit go down, they not gonna cover you. They not gonna have your back. You gonna be out here looking like a fool. Cause they don't look at you. They just look at you as like a casualty to war, as like the Hunger Games, like something like a fun toy at the time. So you got to be careful who you link up with, because it could ruin you for what Big Mama or God or the goddess has for you. You were gonna be that chick or that dude anyway. But linking up with these people, you messed up your brand, you messed up your reputation, you tarnish yourself. So be careful, because all money is not good money, and all gifts are not good gifts, and all people you do not need to be connected to, especially publicly. And even in the private, they say if you lay down with dogs, you're gonna get up with fleas. Some of these people, you don't need to publicly connect with them. And if you do, you need to handle them with a long handled spoon. And you need to make it clear, like, oh no, we ain't rocking like that. No, we keeping this business. No, you're not gonna mess me up in the long run. You have to be careful at the company that you keep. Now things on the internet, they being exposed more. You got to be careful at how you move and how you present yourself, because your reputation goes farther than you do. It carries a long. Think about it. Now, if she decided to get a divorce, even if she got remarried, the new man can look up here on the internet and see. Oh yeah, she'll slip off if a nigga pay her enough money, then yeah, she'll play that role or whatever. I mean, you don't want nobody to publicly know that about you. I mean, even if you do shit like that, some things you could keep to yourself. Like, and he really was not protecting or covering her. He was exposing her the whole time. But this has been my son Goddess 777. I just wanted to talk about that. Y'all like, subscribe, and share. I'm getting off of here because I got other things to do. Um, I would love to be up here all day. I probably do need to make more content, but I have other roles that I play and other uh things that I do as far as income and things like that. I'm not look, I would, like I said, I would love to do that, but I don't get paid from this. I do this because I like doing it. I don't get paid from YouTube or none of that. I have other sources and everything, and I'm grateful for that in a way, because I'm more authentic. Like, by me not being like, I can say that I can be me being smaller like this. I can say what I want to say, and I can get the message out to the people that it need to get out to. I love that type of freedom. It would be nice. I'm not, but I don't want to be controlled by any systems. I really don't. Which we all control to a certain point, but what you know what I'm saying. I be trying to take off the layer of indoctrination, shed the layers of brainwashing and indoctrination as much as I possibly can in the matrix. I try to be as free as I possibly can, without compromising myself and, staying true. I want to stay true to myself. I want to stay true to my purpose. I never wanted to be one to be. I always, even when I was in the music thing, and I still do music now, and I'm going to get back into it more, writing and producing and all that. But I like to be independent. Even when I was doing it real heavy, I was always not. I had been offered to do, sign with people, but I was always trying to be independent, honey. That was always my goal. Is even though I worked for companies and have worked for companies, and I've been a W-2 employee, I've been self-contracted, I've been an entrepreneur, but I like the entrepreneurship. I like that freedom. I like the independence. I like creating. That's what I like to do, and I'm going to get back more into that. So this has been my son God to support my y'all simple of healing and unconditional love. Please comment and let me know what you think about uh the tips that I gave about, women like Micca, and women that are, are naive and maybe uh don't know how to move in this patriarchal energy, and don't know how to move in this. Let's discuss this some more, because I am my sister's keeper if she will listen. I really am my sister's keeper if she will and I have done this in real life. Like, this is not me trying to be funny, or I'm just up here trying to pick on Mika. I do this. I tell motherfuckers this stuff in real life. Like, I talk to them. I'm like I talked to one of my little people. I'm like, listen, if I'm not, my tone is not as loving as it should be. You can tell me, but I'm trying to I'm working on my soft skills. But I get angry when I see it, but it hurts me because I hate to see people taking advantage of people. That's my goal. I hate to see people using money and manipulation tools to take advantage when I know in the end where they trying to lead them at. Like, I can see the future. I can see it. And I'm not even saying that I'm a remote viewer or none of that. I'm not. Yeah, I do have discernment, but I'm just saying, like, I can see a lot of things how they're gonna end. So I'll tell people, like, even people that, like, it's a situation where how can I say it without telling anybody? Listen, somebody in the neighborhood was being abused, and I sincerely, when I see the news, it look like it's a lot of domestic violence going on. Um, I know it's everywhere, but in the area that I'm in, it just seemed like it's bad. So I knew something was going on with somebody that was living in my area. So they kept, what? I helped them. I did help them one time. And then they had another situation, and I was like, listen, this is how this is going to end. Like, you really need to get out of this situation. I know it might be hard, but you're going to have to figure it out, because somebody like that, they will really hurt you. And then I don't like, I don't want to see that happening to you, because I don't really know you that well, but I care about you. Like, you're a person, you're a woman, and that's not healthy. Like, even if you don't die from that, like, later on, that can cause you to have, when somebody is abusing you, that could cause you to have cancers and stuff later on. And not even just physical abuse, when they mentally abusing you and psychologically abusing you and withholding this from you and just fucking with you like that. Like, that's why a lot of women are a lot of wealthy women, they get like that movie, the movie Housemaid, they get revenge on those wealthy men, but they do it in a way where they don't get caught. They be doing all kind of shit, like poisoning them and all kind of, taking them out, but not in a way where it will come back to them. Because they be torturing their wives a lot of times. Like, them women go through all money ain't good money. Even when these people is married and they wealthy, those wealthy women, and a lot of them, the white women and stuff like that, even a lot of the wealthy, because in the background, the people that's really running this shit is melanated people. The white people are really the families that those people that they use as puppets and they mix them into their bloodline, but the people that they really that's really running everything and hiding with the trillions. It's people that got trillions and trillions of dollars. But I'm just saying, like those ones that we see, the wealthy women and stuff, they catching hell. A lot of them. It's not the life that you think that they living. Like, look at Bill Gates' wife, what she was going through. They say she divorced him and giving all the money away because when he going to Epstein allegedly and getting some kind of antibiotic to keep her from catching some disease that he contracted from a lover, might been that. Ain't that something? They got these diseases and shit, and they going around the world trying to kill other people and give them diseases through these jabs and stuff. And I'm gonna say jab up here. You know what I'm talking about? All in these countries trying to keep these people from reproducing. All in Africa fucking people up, putting shit all in the goddamn vinegar and shit. Well, we was using that vinegar to lose weight and detox. Now that motherfucker in charge of the vinegar and come to find out, he was trying to go to Epstein and get a vaccine so he wouldn't give his wife, Bill Gates wouldn't give her a STD, which might have been the big AIDS. Who knows what? You know what? It's some man that they've done arrested that were giving the women in Africa STDs, and they said he couldn't come back in America because he had so many diseases. This shit that they ain't even probably discovered yet that these people have, and they can't come back in the country. He was over there in Africa giving them women everything. And them African women, Lord have mercy. God bless, God bless, God, my word today. They see a white man over there in Africa, they think that why is I thought it was something wrong with the people over here in America, but no, 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 no. We ain't that bad off. Them women over there in Africa, you know what? They see a white man, they think they done met they savior. They really, really think them white men stupid. They over there sitting and they know you gonna come and talk to them, and mm, they really need to stop that. They need to stop all that damn. They whatever they doing to them people over in Africa, Lord have mercy. And then they think they better than Americans. Some of them, there's some cool ones, but they be thinking they better than us, and they come over here and try to pretend like to be us, and they over there doing all that skin bleaching and shit. Fuck that. I was going to the tanning booth. And I'm already melanated. I was still going to the tanning booth. But yeah, they see a white man. Oh my God. They like, oh, he gonna take care of that. You know, y'all need to stop that shit. Y'all really need. I know it'd be hard over there, but damn. I don't know they need to stop raising them girls like that too. They need to stop. They need to stop. Cause a lot of them men be taking advantage of them women. They be taking advantage of them. Cause I think they raised to prepare for a husband. They be marrying some of them off as children. Which they do that here too. Not as much as they probably do it in other countries, but they still do it. Children have been through it. Girls and boys too. I ain't even gonna just say the y'all need to. I don't know what y'all went through as children, but y'all need to heal yourselves because you are more valuable than you know. And your life yesterday is not gonna be your life in the present or your life in the future. I'm telling you. Do not sell yourself short by the gifts and the monies and the monetary gain and the materialism of these energy vampires and these people that just use you as a toy, look at you as a commodity, and look at you as an option and all that because they using their money and abusing power to manipulate and control you. Walk away, cut ties, and I'm telling you, your life gonna get better. You gonna feel much better. It's gonna start out where you gonna be like, damn, something done shifted. Damn, I'm getting my energy back. Like I feel more empowered because they been all that shit ain't even worth it. They been taking your energy. But this, I'm giving you tips. Like I don't give a damn if it's a man. It ain't just women going through this. It ain't. We got some Mitches that's going through this, not just Micas. We got men that's going through this. I don't give a damn if you a man or woman and you are around people that you need to cut off because of. I ain't saying you might just cut it off and be living in under the bridge or nothing like that. Because most people that's not used to that lifestyle living that, but start being grateful and thanking the righteous mother, thanking Big Mama, righteous father, your ancestors that love you unconditionally for ways for you to break away from that. It'll happen. I'm telling you. If you believe and you start working on yourself, and you can get out of these. It's a way of escape. You do not have to be entangled with it. You don't gotta sell yourself short for monetary gain. Get out of that survival mode mindset. I'm telling you. And how you get out of that is working on yourself and healing yourself and doing your shadow work and being grateful, saying I am enough, and start looking in the mirror, telling yourself, and anything that's lacking in you, you tell yourself to heal it. Your mind, your mind. Start speaking that your mind is balanced and healed, and you know what's going on. You in alignment, because you should not be around here thinking it's okay to be on the internet and linked up with some fool bragging about what he do for you on the internet. It's different if we sitting in a circle at the damn BW3 or at Ruth Chris and we laughing and joking. But you on the internet telling people what I do for you and how you fly me out, and we in the room together at 3 a.m. and both of us supposed to be married. And my wife saying it's okay don't make it all right. And ladies, that don't make it all right, because these wives is telling you that it's okay for their husbands to be with you. You gotta protect yourself. Even if you ain't got but 5 cents in your you ain't got a dime in your pocket. You gotta still value yourself. I'm telling you. Even if you can't get your all that hair done and nail done shit, if you can't get a meal today, still value yourself. Even if you gotta move a listen, even if you gotta do some things, you gotta know how to move the proper way to protect yourself. Okay, you gotta move certain ways. I'm telling you, you gotta move certain ways. I mean, don't let these people exploit you like that. Not no fool, cause a fucking elite person ain't even gonna do that. They gonna hide that shit. If you fucking with a motherfucker on the low or on the side or on the low that's got something to lose, like that's really wise and elite, not no retarded bitch, not no retarded potato head bitch, but somebody really got something to lose, they ain't doing all that. That shit gonna be quiet as kept. You gonna have to really sign an NDA. Now you might go through some diabolical shit, depending on what kind of damn motherfucker it is, cause they on some weird shit. You just gotta be careful. You gotta know your surroundings and know how to move and know how people think of you. Don't be thinking, oh, I'm an upper echelon bitch, or I'm an upper echelon nigga, and I'm a prestige, and they looking at you like, man, I can replace you in a minute. Like you ain't nothing but a toy. Like, know how read the room. And I have high self esteem, but I know how other people can think about me. I do. I'm aware of my surroundings. I love me. I know the value of me, but I know this motherfucker might not, and they might try to play on my top. So you gotta know how be aware and protecting yourself. This has been my son Goddess 777. Like, subscribe, and share. Support Maya's Temple. Remember to keep on grounding and healing and doing your shadow work, going within and loving yourself to know your purpose and knowing you. That's where it said you are your hero. You are your savior. And happy Fire Horse 2026. This is just coming into the lunar new year. Everyone keep right on healing and working on yourself and knowing the value of you and your creativity, tapping into your feminine energy. And when I say tapping into your feminine energy, that's for the male and the female. Tapping into the creative side of you, the intuition, the hidden self, tapping into that subconscious, tapping into your occasion record, not just going to chat. Chat is okay, but we cannot trust fully and come too fully dependent on AI and the tech. You have to still meditate, go within you. That's nothing more greater than natural intelligence. Yes, it's good and use it for a tool, but don't use it as a tool, but don't let it cripple you and make you to the point like we got to start back memorizing phone numbers and stuff like that. We done got so into this technology, we don't even remember phone numbers and stuff no more. So yeah, keep right on going within you. It's nothing better than natural intelligence. Even I had to lay off of the chat and all that, and get back into more meditate, which I'm always grounded, but I meditate, but I just got back into more of connecting with self. Is nothing more better than natural intelligence. Yes, the AI is a good tool. Yes, all this stuff is moving ahead. How they planned it, but you still want to tap into your natural intelligence and go within and tap into your and stay connected to your higher self. Y'all have a wonderful day. This has been my son Goddess 777. Like, subscribe, and share, and comment. Let me know what you think about what I've been talking about how, people, Micca moving with this situation with Anton Daniels, and the different situations of people being unwise and not valuing themselves and connecting with the wrong people, and how difficult and easy it is to disconnect from these entanglements a lot of times that we get ourselves into, being in that survival mode mindset. This has been my son Goddess. Like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.